Hey, Shalom, Yesha Allah and world, brother Ezekiel,
Brother Chris.
and we're here for the finale, part four finale of Lion Preachers, Deacons, Bishops, Camps, Religions, Isms, and Schisms, all this other stuff. So, um, I'm not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into it. Um, we're going to start off in Ezekiel chapter 2, and we're going to start at verse 3 through 10. Let's get there real quick. Okay. Okay, Elder.
Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 3 through 10. Verse 3. And he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that hath rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. For they are impudent children and stiff-hearted. I do send thee unto them, and thou shalt say unto them, Thus saith the Most High.
See, so with this being said, this is why, certain individuals out here, we're supposed to come out here and speak the truth. And this is what the Most High put into us through Christ and the Holy Spirit of giving that knowledge and that wisdom and understanding as being a watchman and also being that servant that we're supposed to do. We're supposed to go, blow the trumpet. We're supposed to show our people. We're supposed to warn them from the Most High and things. And a lot of y'all, you got that position or that power from the Most High, and you have abused it to the point where you and started teaching lies and things like that, even more just to rob the people and things, and to use the gift that you got to be a spotlight onto yourself, so people idolize you and not idolize or pedestal the Most High Himself. And Christ was showing and prove to us this all the time. That's why the Pharisees, once again, they was always trying to kill him. They was trying to stone him, coming up with wicked ways and device inventions to take Christ out and things, because he was speaking the truth against their lies and their doctrines and stuff that they created. So this is what is shown and proved through Ezekiel here. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 5. And they, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are a rebellious house, yet shall know that there hath been a prophet among them.
See that? Yet they shall know that there has been a prophet amongst them. So all of them that keep shooing brothers away and sisters away, that actually speaking the truth and trying to warn y'all from turning away from certain things that you keep doing to lead the people wrong and stuff, guess what? Most High, and when the day of judgment, Christ is going to show you, probably on some screen or something, and say, hey, I sent this man to you guys, and you guys sat there and shoot him away. You couldn't hear what he had to say. You was prideful, you were arrogant, and you couldn't hear nothing because you claim you've been in the truth for 3-4 decades and things, and you ain't moving from your ways and stuff. You had everything down pat. You knew everything. The truth was with your congregation or your camp or your church and stuff. So with that being said, he's going to be like, yo, you didn't do what I asked you. You a wicked servant and stuff. So with that being said, you're going to get slewed at his feet, like it tells you back in the parable of Luke 19 and things. Okay? But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 6. And thou, son of man, be not afraid of them, neither be afraid of their words. Though briars and thorns be with thee, and thou dost dwell among scorpions, be not afraid of their words, nor be dismayed at their looks, though they be like a rebellious house. And thou shalt speak my words unto them, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear, for they are most rebellious.
So with that being said, once again, it's just letting us know that our people are very hard-headed. You can't tell them nothing, So, and then two, this goes with the parable of the sower. You that seed that the Most High had planted amongst all this stuff that's going around you, the thorns, the falling to the wayside, hanging on the edge and things like this, all this stuff, and you still grew and became a beautiful flower, a beautiful tree, a tree that bears fruit and things that create more and more and more fruit and stuff. That's your trial that you're going through. So it's going to be dark. It's going to be gloomy. There's times you're not going to get water. You're not going to get sunlight and stuff. You're not going to have fertile ground to be grown and things. You have to make it through. This is another way of going through trials and tribulations, being endurance and things like that. So be that strong seed. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But keep reading, Ella.
Verse 8. But thou, son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not thou rebellious like the rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. Verse 9.
Hold it right there. So he says, but thou son of man, hear what I say unto thee. Be not rebellious like that rebellious house. Open thy mouth and eat that I give thee. This is the same stuff that Christ was talking about when Peter told him, like, hey, he cut off the man's ear and stuff. And then Christ told him, was like, Peter, are you stopping me basically from drinking what the Father has set in front of me, this cup that he set in front of me and stuff? That's the same thing. This is what's been set in front of you. You have to eat it. Don't let nobody else try to stop you from eating this word. This is the truth. This is the light. This is the food, the manna, that was given to you and things. This is that heavenly food. This is what we have to continue to keep eating and stuff, because everybody else don't want to eat it and stuff. They got their plate sitting right in front of them. That's how they're just going to let it sit there and rot and stuff. That's them. They're not appreciating what the Father's sitting in front of them and things. Okay? And this is what we have right here. That's why we keep telling everybody, read the book for yourself. Read, read, read. So therefore, you're eating your plate. You're eating your portion and stuff, which is going to give you everlasting life. Okay? But anyway, continue reading, Elder.
Verse 9. And when I looked, behold, an hand was set unto me, and lo, a roll of a book was therein. And he spread it before me, and it was written within and without. And there was written therein lamentations and mourning and woe.
I wonder what type of scroll or book that was. Maybe it had to do with individuals' names that's not written in there, or that is written in there, and depending on what judgment they got for doing good or doing wicked and stuff. Which category do you fall under? Limitation, mourning, and woes? Which one? You know what I'm saying? So this is the whole thing. That's what we're trying to show and prove. Like, this is coming out. This is what we're trying to speak on to the people. And a lot of our people don't want to hear it. They're still trapped up in Christianity. A lot of people that's knowing the truth, and they following, idolizing a man and stuff who's giving them a man-made doctrine that has nothing to do with the scripts. They're just coming off based off of what they learned from Christianity and brought it into what they know now is truth. Okay? So why you have to be careful. You have to discern the spirits and stuff. And how, discerning, how do you do that? Once again, you need the law, statute, and commandments. You need to know them. If you don't know them, you can't discern. Period. Okay? But let's get some wisdom. Let's jump to Proverbs chapter 14 and verse 15. And this is the issue today. Like I said, everybody's gonna believe whatever that man may say, whatever that woman may say and things, and just because it sounds so good, it sounds so deep and stuff, you guys just follow whatever they say, but instead of following what the book says exactly word for word. Okay? So this is the issue that's going on and stuff. So let's go ahead and get that, Elder. Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15.
Proverbs chapter 14, verse 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going.
See that? The simple, meaning they believe anything. Gullible. Christian. That's the word Christian. It means gullible. You're going to believe every little word that man may say, and not knowing that dude is teaching you how to bake a cake. Okay? It's like he ain't teaching the word and things like that. He's not dealing with that. But you believe it because 3-piece suit on. Best meat tree. You know what I'm saying? Big congregation. Big name amongst the whole world and stuff. But here it is. You look at a man. Even the disciples, when Christ came back, they didn't even know it was him. And he looked so messed up and things like that. And he was all, bummy looking and things. You didn't even know that he was standing right there until he went through the laws again with y'all. He went through the prophets again. And you still didn't know it was him until he sat down and took the bread and blessed it and broke it. Then they realized it was him. That's the problem. This is what I'm trying to help teach our people out here, because you're deeming what you think is good. It's not really good. It's wrong. And then what you're deeming what's wrong is actually right, because you can't tell what's good and what's right. You're looking at the mirage and things. Okay? Jump to verse 18, Elder, please. The same chapter,
Proverbs,
verse 18.
chapter 14 and verse 18. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge.
The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. See that? That's why the Most High says, seek me daily. Every single day, you're supposed to seek him, seek his word and stuff. How we prove this? Let's jump back to Proverbs 1 and verse 2 real quick. And then we'll jump to, after this, Proverbs 19.
Proverbs chapter 1 and verse 2.
And down to verse 7.
Proverbs chapter 1, verse 2 through 7. Verse 2, to know wisdom and instruction, to perceive the words of understanding, to receive the instruction of wisdom, justice, and judgment, and equity, to give subtlety to the simple, to the young man knowledge and discretion. Verse 5, a wise man will hear and will increase learning, and the man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsels. To understand the proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge, but fools despise wisdom and instruction.
You see that? So being prudent, that means you constantly seeking the Father. That means you fearing him. This is the whole duty that we're supposed to be doing and stuff. We're supposed to be fearing him. How can we serve him? How can we make him happy? How can we show that we love him? How can we get the same love back from him and things? You know, he gives rewards for doing the things that he asks you to do. Okay? So this is what we need to continue to keep doing. And when you do this, then, like I said again, if you know this stuff, you know the law, statute, and commandments, nobody that comes to you with some doctrine, they cannot fool you. Period. No matter what they say, it's not going to resonate in you because you know what it says in those laws. If it says do, do. If it says don't do it. Period. Nobody can twist you up. Nobody can make you fall except self. And that's the whole thing. That's what we have to pay attention to. But let's jump to, Proverbs 19 and verse 21.
Proverbs chapter 19, verse 21. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of the Most High, that shall stand.
See that? There are many devices in a man's heart. What do we say the most wickedest thing in the world is? A man's heart. Meaning his mind and stuff is the wicked above all things. Who can understand it? The Most High can. Okay? Just to back that up real quick. Jeremiah 17 and 9 real quick. And we'll come right back to it.
17.
I know I said this in the rest of the other videos, but
17:9?
Yes, sir.
Sure.
And I know I said this in the rest of the other videos, but I'm just bringing this back because we got some other individuals here.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verse 9. The heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Verse 10.
I, the Lord, search the heart. I try the reins, even to every man according to his ways and according to the fruit of his doings.
See that? So the Most High knows that. And to back it up, what the Son says real quick, Christ, go to Mark 7 again. And verse... verse 20 down to Mark 7 verse 20 down to 23.
Mark 7 chapter.
In verse 20.
Mark 7 chapter, verse 20.
And this is Christ saying this.
And this is that's how talking. Verse 20. And he said, that which cometh out of the man, that defileth the man. For from within, out of the heart of men, proceed evil thoughts, adulteries, fornications, murders, thefts, covetousness, wickedness, deceit, lasciviousness, an evil eye, blasphemy, pride, foolishness. Verse 23. All these evil things come from within and defile the man.
You see that? Like this is how we get thorough understanding of why we have all these warnings. We have all these different things that come. Like the Bible, the whole scriptures, the Torah, the Tanakh, and the Gospel. It's like a musical note. You play it in tune and stuff, and it's going to come out perfectly in things. But if you play it out of tune, it's not going to sound right. So this is why we have to sit here when it says in Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not, lift up thy voice like a trumpet, and show my people their transgression, and the house of Jacob their iniquities. You got to learn to blow the trumpet correctly. Like I said before, you blowing the trumpet and war coming, you got war coming, and people listen to the trumpet, you're just getting them ready for dinner. You know what I'm saying? So said this before and stuff. This is why we need to know these things. Because you do have men and you have women out here who purposely laying on their beds thinking of deceitful things to do to create more confusion, to more hellish stuff and things like that, and to mess up the Most High's word and make His name in vain. No honor will go to Christ, and no reverence to the Holy Spirit at all, when they're the ones that's giving all this. Okay. Let's jump to Malachi 3 and verse 5 through 15.
Five through 15.
Mm-hmm.
Malachi 3rd chapter.
And it's basically saying again, like, we're dealing with, all these wicked individuals and stuff. People choose this wickedness over what they think may be right, and it's not, because they're simple-minded. Like Scripture says, you simple ones love simplicity in things. So we got to be careful. Like I said, you got witches out here, you got sorcerers, you got anything you possibly can see that's a ravaging wolf to sit here to create more confusion and stuff. They moving like a serpent, seriously, because of the mindset.
Malachi 3rd chapter, verse 5.
Start at verse, did I say 5? Yeah, I'm sorry, go
15.
ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Malachi chapter 3, verse 5 through 15. Verse 5. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against the adulterers, and against the false swearers, and against those that oppress the hireling in his wages, the widow and the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right. And fear not me, said the Most High of Hosts.
You see that? So we're giving you warnings. All the deceitful stuff that you guys keep coming up with, you're getting warnings here to stop doing that, to turn from your little wicked ways and stuff. Before the Most High comes down here, you playing with His grace and stuff, His time period and things, you messing with His mercy. That's why the Scripture says, thou shalt not tempt the Most High thy God. Even Christ told Satan that. Okay? As a matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Because people, they keep tempting Him, playing these games and stuff. Let me get it in. What do I want? Deuteronomy. 6 and 16.
6 and 16, Deuteronomy?
Yep.
Okay. Deuteronomy 6 and 16.
Yeah, hold Malachi and we'll come back.
Yep. Deuteronomy 6 and 16.
Once again, law upon law, commandment upon commandment. This is a precepts. Okay?
Deuteronomy 6th chapter and verse 16. Ye shall not tempt the Lord your God, as ye tempted him in Massa.
See that? So That's a law there. You should not tempt the Most High thy God. Stop playing with him and stuff, okay? And when it says in Massive, what happened to the people? They was doing things that was causing him to get pissed at him. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, this falls into what we just read in Ezekiel. Our people are stiff-necked, rebellious. That's why he has to repeat himself more than once in here and stuff. This is how we know we're Israel and stuff, too, because we are hard-headed, okay? But let's jump back to Malachi 3.
Malachi chapter 3 and verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed.
See that? The Most High is not going to go back on his word. He's not playing with you guys. He's not playing with me, okay? Everybody's just sitting here. He's not playing. He's not going to go back on his word. There's nothing that you can do to change his mind about certain things unless you turn your wickedness and come back to righteousness and things, okay? That's what you have grace for. He said it already. There's no change in that. It's already set in motion. You do right, I'm going to bless thee. You do wrong, I'm going to curse thee. And if you keep it with the curses, you're going to die and be consumed, okay? But let's keep reading. Excuse me.
Malachi 3rd chapter verse 7. Even from the days of your fathers, ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. But ye said, wherein shall we return?
Wow, dude. Yeah.
Verse 8. Let me read verse 8.
Yeah, go ahead.
Verse 8. Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me. But ye say, wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings.
I should have added that one back with the tithe little lesson, but still, told you guys be robbing the Most High. You literally take it from him and stuff. You know, and this is what's going on. It's not the food or the money aspect. It's you're taking away his children that don't know any better because it was entrusted into you to sit here and to feed this flock, and you robbing him and stuff. You stealing it and giving it to your father, the devil. That's what you do. Okay? But keep reading, Ella.
Verse 9. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house, and prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts. If I will not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, there shall not be room enough to receive it. 11. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sakes, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast off her fruit before the time in the field, says the Lord of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for you shall be a delight stone land, said the Lord of hosts. Your words have been stout against me, said the Lord. Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee? Verse 14. You have said, it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? And now we call the proud happy. Yes, yea, they that work wickedness are set up. Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered.
You see, so basically it's telling you right here, like, our people giving excuses once again. How did we offend you, God? You know, you standing right in front of Christ. How did I do you wrong? I did your works. I sat there and baptized in your name. I did miracles in your name. I gave on to the poor. I was charitable. And what did Christ say again? I never knew thee. Depart from me, ye workers of iniquity. You see that? So you still believe in this false, mirage that you're going to make it in, that you got salvation because you've been baptized in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. You're under grace now, the blood of Jesus. And to the Christians on that aspect. And then now with Israelites, you following this man's doctrine that has nothing to do with the scriptures, but another feel-good sermon just twisted onto a certain extent to where they can get you to give them money constantly and stuff while you go without and they living safe. And this is exactly what's happening. They're taking away from the Most High. They're stealing and robbing from them. But once again, what do I know? I don't know anything. Like I said, I say this a billion times. You look for the biggest congregation. You're looking for all this. dazzling and glittering gold and everything. It must be good. 100 million choir behind you. You know what I mean? It's just, it's nonstop. And Christ never was looking for that. He told every man to go by the twos into each city and just go preach the word, which is what? Give them law, statute, and commandments to say that the kingdom of heaven is coming. So that's all you had to do. But instead, no. You had to get a spotlight for you. And you fell right into the trap where these Pharisees were doing this. And according to the laws too, when you set up these men and give them, and they get man-made titles and stuff, you empower them and stuff to the point where they believe that they're a king. And the Most High said, I will set up kings over thee and things. And what happened is, you're doing the same thing that happened in Judges. As a matter of fact, let's go to Judges 8. And let's 22, I believe. What they said on to Gideon. Or what they said on to Gideon, and then what Gideon told them. Judges 8 and 20 22 and 23. Because this is exactly what's happening. Whatever those men said, you're going to do and stuff. And that's not good. Once again, we read in Jeremiah 17 and 5, cursed be the man that put his trust in man and make it his arm flesh. You got the book right here in front of you. You better start reading it. But go ahead, Ella.
Judges chapter 8, verse 22. Then the men of Israel said unto Gideon, Rule thou over us, both thou and thy son's son also, for thou hast delivered us from the hand of the Midian. And Gideon said unto them, I will not rule over you, neither shall my son rule over you. The Lord shall rule over you.
See that? So this is what we keep saying. Everybody's like, well, the Messiah ain't here. That's our only king. Physically, that's going to be on this earth and stuff. Okay? He's not here yet. So we don't have no overseers and no rulers and things like that. What we need to do, like we was reading in Proverbs 6, it talks about 6 and 6 about the ant coming together. It has no overseer and things, but they collected, gathering in the winter. That's what we're supposed to be gathering and stuff. We'll get that real quick. Proverbs 6 and 6 real quick. Because that goes right back in with Luke 19 of the parable of the servant, when he gave the pound to the servants and he said, go out and bring back and stuff before I come and stuff. So the first servant, when he came back, he gave him 1 pound each. He came back with 10 pounds. So he said, good servant, while thou was faithful, you done good in things. So with that being said, he needs you to do this. He said, be authority over 10 cities and stuff, since you did exactly what I asked you. That's gathering and stuff. That's being a fisher of men. That's being a watchman. Bring them souls back on to the Father and stuff. Okay? Let them come work. Let them come and bow down to me, because I'm the king that's going to be coming back and stuff. I've already been ordained to things. Well, we'll get it real quick. Proverbs 6 and 6.
Proverbs chapter 6 and verse 6. Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways and be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler.
See that? Which having no guide, overseer, or ruler. This goes back to Judges again. This is what it was talking about. Hey, they wanted us to rule up. They wanted them to rule over us and stuff. And Gideon said, no, I will not rule over the sons. My sons will not rule over you. The Most High shall rule over you. So see, this is what we're supposed to do. So stop with the man-made titles and things like that. Stop doing that. Just stay in your lane. Do what you were supposed to do according to the book, not according to what you've been passed down or taught through traditions of men. Okay? But continue reading.
Verse 6 and 6.
8.
Verse 8. Provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one who travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. So
basically it's telling you right here, like, listen, if you stay idled, meaning you ain't doing no work, you're not doing this and stuff, your your damnation is going to come because you've been sleeping. And what happens is, as we see certain churches, we see certain camps and stuff, these so-called men with titles and stuff, they start when they start teaching, they teaching the same thing over and over and over and over again. Like I said in the last video, it's a feel-good sermon and stuff. It's not teaching the people nothing. It's keeping them right on the same course of what they want them to do, because they're actually not reading in it, because they ain't got the money that they need from you and stuff, and they won your ears over and stuff. So therefore, they know you're gullible. You're going to keep giving money. And the way you mix the words around, you're trying to make it sound so deep to the point where they won't listen to nobody else. They won't believe anything else. They're one-track mind because of you. And you being a little ravaging wolf lying to the people and stuff. Okay? But anyways, let's jump back to we was done with Malachi 3 and 5.
5 through 15.
Jump to Proverbs 24 and verse 8 through 9. And this goes back with Malachi. It's telling you what these sorcerers, adulterers, all these wicked men will do to you just to win you over, because they want what you got. And then, of course, with the women, they trying to win women over, and then knowing that the men are weak-minded, they follow what the women do. So, like, again, it's a chain reaction that they follow and come into this so-called holy congregation, and it's not nothing holy about it. It's leading you right into hell. You see? But let's go ahead and get that.
Proverbs 24.
Yes, sir. And
verse 8 and 9.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Proverbs 24, verse 8. He that devises to do evil shall be called a mischievous person. The thought of the foolishness is sin, and the scorner is an abomination to men.
See that? But our people won't even know these things, so once again, you're not studied up, okay? You're not reading and stuff. And this is exactly what's going to happen to you. And the scriptures call you a fool. I don't need to say that. The scriptures tell you that. And called you a dog, a fool, simple-minded, stiff-necked, rebellious, all these different names that the Most High is calling you. He's actually mocking you at the same time because you won't do the things he's asking you to do. But let's keep reading. Jump to Proverbs 26 and verse 18 through 19. Actually, we'll read 18 through 28. And it's just dealing with these, once again, little liars and stuff.
26, 18 through 28?
Yep.
Okay. Proverbs, the 26th chapter, verse 18 through 28. And 18 reads, As a madman who casteth firebrands, arrows, and death, so is the man that deceiveth his neighbor and saith, Am not I in sport? Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no table bearer, the strife ceaseth.
So the thing is, why would you keep keeping these people in power? And I'm talking to the masses right now. Why do you keep going to these individuals if you know that they're not telling the truth? I don't understand that. And you can see it. Why do you keep going back? That means there must be a malfunction going on upstairs, or there's some sickness or something, or they got a spell cast over you or something that keeps you going back, and you know it's not the truth. You know it's a lie. But you keep going back. I don't understand that. So you're feeding the wood to the fire that's going to consume you in the day of judgment. That's what's going on right here. But you guys are being foolish of not trying to leave out of there. Where are you going to say? Where are we going to go? Who are we going to congregate with? You congregate with your family at home. You got the Most High. He said when there's two or more together, he's in the midst. You have it right here. What more do you need? Or is it you want to be seen? Or you want to be heard? You want to be known amongst in the world and stuff? You don't need that. Learn how to get out of that stuff. Stop doing those things. Okay? But keep reading, Ella.
Please read verse 20 again. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. Where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth.
See that? So people saying lies to each other, gossiping and things like that. That's why to you brothers out there who have wives and stuff, get them off a little demon book and stuff. Get them out of those conversations and stuff. And they ain't got nothing to say good to say about each other and stuff, or just regular conversation. Tell them to stop gossiping and stuff. I mean, that's fine with what they're doing if they're just regularly talking. Hey sis, how you doing and stuff. But talebearers and stuff, a lot of y'all be on Demon Book, and I mean Facebook. You be doing that same stuff all day and stuff. Every single day. Every time I look down my news feed, I can see every law that you guys keep breaking and stuff. You out here telling each other's business and stuff. You going out here letting everybody know and stuff. Where's the witnesses? There ain't no witnesses. And I'm going to get on that dealing with judgment and stuff on the next lesson and stuff. How to judge correctly. And as a matter of fact, the talebearing thing, real quick. Hold this. We'll go to get the law, Exodus 23 and verse 1 real quick. 1 and 2.
23, 1 and 2?
Yes, sir.
Exodus chapter 23, verse 1 and verse 2.
Ooh, excuse me.
Verse 1 reads.
Hold on a second.
Exodus 23.
Right after Genesis. No, you chapter 23 and verse 1 and 2. Okay. Got it.
One more.
We got you, Elder.
I got it.
All right.
Exodus, excuse me. Exodus chapter 23, verse 1 and 2. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thine hand to the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment.
See that? So why you guys getting into affairs that don't belong to you? Why are you meddling in other people's business and stuff? Oh, I forgot. Facebook allows you to do that 100%. I forgot about that. Even all the social media, it tells you to open all your business. That's why half of you cats be getting locked up and stuff. You showing how much weed you be smoking and stuff, how many guns and pistols you got, gang, and all this other crap and things like that. This is why you guys get locked up. This is why you have breakup in marriages and stuff. This is why all this stuff is going on, because of all that confusion. And it's entertaining to the other nations and stuff. Like, look at them. Look at them. Honey, look, they're acting up again. Oh my God, look. Jeez, I don't even have to pay for this type of entertainment. I don't have to go to a zoo or anything. This is entertaining right here. And they sitting here making fun of you all day long. And you guys feed into it like it's fun. It's something to do. Yeah, this is a new thing. Let's get drunk. All this and that and the other and things. See? But no, you love. Hey, the scriptures try to tell you, but what do I know?
Look at Deuteronomy 28:37 while we at it.
All right, Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 37.
Yeah, you brought that up. That's a beautiful one. I remember I just saw that.
Okay. I'll read it for you.
And we always say that this is not us. I'm a Christian. I'm a Muslim. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 37.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse 37. And it says, as a curse, and thou shalt become an astonishment, a proverb and a byword among all nations, whether the Most High shall lead thee.
Exactly what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
The nations all say, I ain't got to watch television. I do watch Israel.
Yep. And they already doing it. Sports, music industries, BT, Love and Hip Hop, all these other little folly little TV shows. They got it right there. But you playing right into it and stuff. But good bring out, Elder.
Proverbs 26 we were at.
Yeah.
Did you want
Verse, that was 19 that we were yeah, keep reading. No, we were verse 21 we're going to.
Let me go back. That's Exodus. That 23?
Yeah, Proverbs 26 and verse 22.
Okay.
Or 21, I'm sorry.
21 we're at in Proverbs. Proverbs chapter 26, verse 21.
Mm-hmm.
I'll read that again.
Oh, you can read verse 20 again, yeah.
Verse 20?
Yeah.
Verse 20. Proverbs chapter 26. Where no wood is, there the fire goeth out. So where there is no talebearer, the strife ceaseth. As coals are to burning coals, and wood to fire, so is a contentious man to kindle strife.
A contentious man is the kindle strife. Let me tell you something. That happens all the time. You got cats saying, yo, dude, why you mugging me and stuff? Yo, what's your problem? What you looking at? You want to get your eyes fixed? You know, and things like that. That's being contentious on purpose. Like it tells us as one of the curses. Again, let's go. Let's hold that. Let's go back to the curses. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 56, I want to say. So Deuteronomy 28. Yep, that's it. 56. Yep.
Deuteronomy 28, everybody. Deuteronomy 28 chapter.
Verse 54, I'm sorry.
Verse 54?
Yep.
Deuteronomy 28 chapter verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil towards his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
See that? So it's the same thing with the woman and stuff too. Same exact stuff. This is exactly what's happening in Israel. Okay? You don't see that happening with all the other nations and stuff. Only us. But they taught us real well to hate each other and things, and to hate self, which goes completely against the scriptures. But let's jump back to Proverbs.
Proverbs chapter 26 and
verse 22, yeah.
Proverbs chapter 26 and verse 22. The words of a talebearer are as wounds, and they go down in the innermost parts of the belly. 23. Burning lips and a wicked heart are like a potsherd covered with silver dross. How far down am I going?
Oh, we're going all the way to verse 28. Yep.
Verse 24. He that hateth dissembleth with his lips, and layeth up deceit within him. When he speaketh fair, believe him not, for there are 7 abominations in his heart. Whose hatred is covered by deceit, his wickedness shall be shown before the whole congregation.
That's why it says everything done in darkness shall come to light. No matter how much you try to shade or try to cover up your actual real character and stuff of who you actually are, you could put on a facade. A lot of people could look past that real quick, depending on if they're conscious and they have that eye to see and things and ears to hear. They could look right past that and stuff. That's called the discernment. You know, and once again, like I said, everything that glitters ain't gold. Mm-hmm. Okay? But let's keep reading.
Verse 27. Whoso diggeth a pit shall fall therein, and he that rolleth the stone, it will return upon him. A lying tongue hateth those that are afflicted by it, and a flattering mouth worketh ruin.
See that? So, like I said, a feel-good service sounds so smooth, so flat. Hey, baby, baby, let me holler at you, man. You fine as wine and things, you know. And this whole time, you sitting there, all our sisters and stuff like, oh, he's so handsome, he's so fine. And the next thing you know it, he was just doing that just to claim you as a trophy.
Watch him.
And to sit there and say, oh, I laid with her, done deal, on to the next one. Same thing with the congregation. Oh, brothers and sisters, believe in this. You know, all this and that and the other. Jesus came to save and all this. Brothers, we got the full truth here at this camp. You know, ain't nobody teaching the truth like we is. You know what I'm saying? They do all this stuff, and our people be simple-minded to fall for it. Gullible, 100%. Just like the scriptures we just bringing out. Simple. But, once again, we trying to warn you. We trying to help y'all. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, let's keep going.
That's the end of that.
Let's go to Isaiah 56 and 10. and back this up.
Okay.
Oops.
Isaiah chapter 56.
Sorry, 1 second. Almost there.
10.
And once again, like it keeps going into telling us about, you know, these so-called men with titles who you uphold and things. Hey, the ones you keep giving the power to keep them running in business and stuff. This is what you're doing.
Isaiah chapter 56 and verse 10. His watchmen are blind. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs. They cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough. And they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his own gain, from his quarter. Verse 12. Come ye, they say. Come ye, say they. I will fetch wine, and we will fill ourselves with strong drink, and tomorrow shall be as this day, and much more abundant.
Giving you false hope and false salvation. And I think I read this in the other video and stuff too, but
Yes.
It's just coming back up.
Yes.
Let's jump to Malachi 2 and verse 8 through 9. Well, I was just getting this back in, so, you know, just to add back on and stuff, even though if you guys already have this written down and you're if you're watching the videos, you already got this written down. I'm just re-going over it just for a quick second.
Malachi 2, 8 through 9.
Yes, sir.
Malachi chapter 2, verse 8 and 9. Verse 8 reads, But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, said the Lord of hosts. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as ye have not kept my ways, but have been partial in the law.
See that? So you only want to teach what you feel is right. Like, for instance, we'll get on, like I said again, I'll get on this, I'll do a lesson on the whole, you know, what about the Gentiles and stuff. Oh, I hear all these lessons about, oh, the Gentiles going to hell, they ain't got no salvation, all this and that and the other. It doesn't say that in the law. You be impartial with it. Same thing with multiple wives and things. I'm going to bring that out as well, too. You know, you want to be partial with it because, once again, you pedestal the people because of this. As a matter of fact, jump to 1 Samuel and one moment. Give me 1 second. I need that scripture where it says, because he feared the people. Let me get it. Salakia, y'all. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah.
You say something, Elder?
Sure. Say we have parted out of the way and caused many to stumble at the law. You have corrupted the covenant of Levi, said the Most High. Therefore I have also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according to as you have not kept my ways, but have been partial in the law. I'm reminded of, I always say we rather obey the traditions of man than the law of the Most High. And today being just a perfect day, everybody's going to be out celebrating the first of the year, New Year. But if you knew the law, you would know that even on the first day of the year, that is not when we celebrate it. We go in so many days, and then we celebrate it, and it's called the Passover. So many men have corrupted a lot of things to get a portion for themselves, to line their pockets. So he's just reminding us of this in Malachi.
The what, Elder? I need 1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse start at verse 19. We're going to see exactly what it's talking about impartially, because you are afraid of the people and stuff because you pedestal them. Once again, they're feeding you, the coals, they're feeding you the wood to keep your fire going and stuff, to keep you on a high rise. So everybody thinks that you're this. But once that people starts getting away and stuff and starts taking away, guess what? Your fire comes down, it comes down, it comes down, it comes down to the point it's nothing but ashes and smoke. And this is exactly what we're speaking on here according to this. This is the warning towards y'all that have that position in things. But I'm trying to explain this here. But go ahead, Elder.
So, 1 Samuel chapter 15, we're going to start at what verse?
Verse 19.
Let me know when you want me to start. 1 Samuel chapter 15, starting at verse 19.
And real quick, basically, the Most High told Samuel to tell Saul, listen, go kill all the Amalekites and stuff, Amalek, and kill off everything. Don't take nothing of the spoils. Don't take no spoils, no money, no nothing. Kill everybody. The men, the women, the children, the oxen, and all the animals. So don't do that. It was a commandment not to take any of that stuff. But we'll see what happened. Go ahead.
1 Samuel chapter 15 and verse 19. Wherefore, then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord. And Saul said unto Samuel, Yea, I have obeyed the voice of the Lord, and have gone the way which the Lord sent me, and have brought Agag, king of Amalek, and have utterly destroyed the Amalekites.
See, he was lying there. Just like we read back in, I think it was Micah or Malachi, where it says that they started making excuses, saying, "Where have we not followed the Most High's word? How did we rob God? We didn't rob him." And look at exactly, this is the example that was speaking of in Malachi or Micah. Go ahead.
Verse 21. But the people took of the spoil sheep and oxen, the chief of the things which should have been utterly destroyed, to sacrifice unto the Lord thy God in Gilgal. Then Samuel said, Hath the Lord as great delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as in obeying the voice of the Lord?
So the Most High really didn't want sacrifices. He wanted you to obey him. That's it. Like I said, don't do it. Go ahead.
Behold, to obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams.
To do what?
To obey is better than sacrifice, and to hearken than the fat of rams.
See that? That's all the Most High asking. If you just follow exactly what he said, there would be no need for sacrificing. You wouldn't be putting the priesthood into work on the Shabbat of having to do certain things, even though they're commanded to. But they wouldn't have to do these sacrifices if your simple behinds would stop sinning. Just listen to what he says do. And mind you, once again, for individuals out there, so they don't think I'm mightier than thy and things like that, or holier than thou, this speaks to me as well. Okay, so don't get that twisted on here. Okay, so it cuts me as well if there's something I've been doing wrong. Okay, but go ahead.
Verse 23. For rebellion is as the sin of witchcraft, and stubbornness is as iniquity and idolatry. Because thou hast rejected the word of the Lord, he hath also rejected thee from being king. And Saul said unto Samuel, I have sinned, for I have transgressed the commandment of the Lord and thy words, because I feared the people.
Because what?
Because I feared the people.
He did what?
I was scared of the people.
Because he feared the people and obeyed their voice. See that? You pedestal the people and you're fearing them to obey what they said. So you're playing on their emotions. So if you come out, this is what you guys do. You'll skip everything in the laws that concerns about, let's say, multiple wives, right? You'll skip all that purposely because, you know, our sisters will be like, I ain't having that. This ain't happening. So I ain't sharing my man with nobody. And this. Or, no, all them Gentiles is getting put to death. There ain't nowhere in the scripture, in the laws, that said the Gentiles get salvation. This is what you guys do on a regular basis instead of just telling the truth, not worrying about how he's going to feel, how he's going to feel, how she's going to feel, or how I'm going to feel. Just tell the truth. But you scared and stuff because you know if you tell the truth, you don't get that many followers and things. That's the whole problem. You worry about people following you instead of following what the Most High and you following what the Most High said to do. But anyways, let's jump back. Where was that? Where was that? Malachi 2.
Malachi 2.
Yeah, 2:8-9. Or yeah, Malachi. I was getting Micah and them mixed up.
We finished it. Unless you want to read it again.
Yeah, let's just read it again real quick.
Okay. Malachi chapter 2, verse 8 through 9. Verse 8 says, "But ye are departed out of the way. Ye have caused many to stumble at the law. Ye have corrupted the covenant of Levi, said the Lord of hosts. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base before all the people, according as ye have not kept my ways, but have been partial in the law."
See that? So this is where it just shows and proves. So stop being partial in it. Tell the full truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you the Most High. So, let's get some more wisdom. Let's jump back to Proverbs, and we'll go to chapter 23 and verse 26 through 35. Did I read that? Did we read that already? No.
No, I don't have it. 23?
Mm-hmm. And verse 26 through 35.
Proverbs chapter 23, verse 26 through 35. And verse 26 reads, verse 26, chapter 23, Proverbs. "My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes observe my ways."
You see that? Give your heart to the Most High and observe His ways. Not my ways, not elder's ways, not elder over here ways, not the sister's ways, nobody else's way. Just follow the Most High's way, okay? That's why I say, oh, I love that man, I love that woman with all my heart. No, you don't. You better not be. You say you love them more than the Most High? Okay. Yo, you better check yourself. But go ahead.
Verse 27.
Now, mind you, I want you guys, now mind you, when you read this, there's a carnal aspect of this, and there's a spiritual aspect of this, okay? So we'll break this down as we read this, but go ahead.
Verse 27. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit.
So stop right there for a second. Okay, so I'm not gonna get no in detail. I'm not gonna be like that, okay? I'm serious here. This is letting you know that a woman that's a whore and things, that's how they are. On the carnal aspect, yes, we know this is what they do for money and so forth and so on. They don't care. There's no shame in their game, whatever the case may be. It's the same thing on a spiritual aspect when you're dealing with these so-called men with titles. They're whores. They definitely are dealing with that book, 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 that book. And they're laying with each of these books and stuff instead of just staying with this one. Mm-hmm. And you're bringing all this stuff because you know it touches the people's minds because it sounds deep. Mm-hmm. So, once again, you're selling yourself off because you fear the people. You're laying with the people instead of dealing with the Most High's word. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. But let's keep reading.
And notice, though, the brother said brothers. He said brothers. Brother could also be a whore.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Just like, as a matter of fact, let's go to Leviticus. Hold that. Go to Leviticus and, what's that law? Where you should not make the daughters of...
Yes.
Deuteronomy 23 and verse 17. We'll hold that. Deuteronomy 23 verse 17. And what the elder was bringing out, the word brothers was in there, and that's what he was saying. Brothers could be whores too, but I'm going to prove this.
23:17, Deuteronomy?
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 17. There shall be no whore of the daughters of Israel, nor a sodomite, or a sodomite of the son of Israel.
The word sodomite. Now, once again, I've explained this before to individuals. When you read the Hebrew, it doesn't mean a faggot. Okay? In the Hebrew, it's talking about a male gigolo, meaning a male whore who sells you know what on a corner for some money. That's what he's doing. Okay? That's exactly what it's speaking of in this scripture. I mean, in Proverbs. Same stuff that's happening out here. They selling themselves so they could get whatever they can to can desire their hearts. The material stuff. Okay? Read verse 18.
Verse 18, and Deuteronomy 23 says, "Thou shalt not bring the hire of a whore or the price of a dog in the house of the Lord thy God for any vow. For even both these are abominations unto the Lord thy God."
You see that? So you guys selling yourselves out and things, and you putting yourself in the Most High's house and things. You claiming His name and stuff, and you doing all this wicked stuff and things. You ain't nothing but a whore and stuff. You a dog. That's why it says you be barking and stuff. You constantly eat up everything till there's no tomorrow and stuff, because you robbing the Most High. You see that? But let's go back to Proverbs.
23.
Yes, sir. And verse
28.
Try 27 again. Yeah, verse 27. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Proverbs chapter 23, verse 27. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgression among men.
That's Jezebel was a fine example of this. Okay? And many brothers and sisters that's dealing today are the same way and stuff. Once again, deceitful things, wicked things that come out of a man or a woman, which defiles them because it comes from the mind and stuff. They dealing in wickedness. But go ahead.
Who hath woe?
See? What was that? What was the script? What was the book that was given out to Ezekiel back in, I think, in chapter 2, where it said what? When he opened the book, it was woes, limitations, and sorrows. This is what he's speaking of. Go ahead.
Who hath woe? Verse 29. Who hath woe? Who hath sorrow? Who hath contentions? Who hath babblings? Who hath wounds without cause? Who hath redness of eyes?
And who caused those wounds? Once again, what we read in Proverbs, your own brother and sisters, because they chucking stones at you because you speaking the truth against the wicked ones that they uphold in things. Okay? Go ahead.
They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine.
Once again, this is the wine that you're supposed to be drinking. This is the cup that was set in front of you from the Most High. Not all these other different cups and things. That's why it tells you the whore of Babylon, she drink and the wine of the wrath of her fornications and stuff. She's been fornicating with all the other countries out here. All the other kings, the nations of the earth and things like that. They all became rich off her delicacies. Basically saying, hey, I'm open. Who else want to lay with me? That's what's going on. This is what Solomon at this time was speaking on. Okay, but go ahead.
Verse 31. Look not thou upon the wine when it is red, when it giveth his color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. Verse 32. At the last it biteth like a serpent, and stingeth like an adder.
The most poisonous snakes. Go ahead.
Verse 33. Thine eyes shall behold strange women, and thine heart shall utter perverse things. Yea, thou shalt be as he that lieth down in the midst of the sea, or as he that lieth upon the top of a mast. Verse 35. They have stricken me. Shalt thou say, and I was not sick? They have bitten me, and I felt it not. When shall I awake? I will seek it yet again. So
this is the things that our people keep dealing with. They're having that reprobated mind, going back to the same thing over and over and over again. But I'm trying. You can't, like, if I stand in front of Christ, on judgment, I can't say I didn't try. We trying to blow this trumpet for y'all. But as a matter of fact, we're going to back that up. I said reprobated. Let's go. Romans chapter 1, verse 28.
Romans chapter 1,
verse 28 to 32.
8. Romans chapter 1, verse 28 through 32. Romans chapter 1, verse 28 through 32. And verse 28 reads thus. And even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, God gave them over to a reprobate mind, to do those things which are not convenient, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity.
Wait, what word was that again? Debate? Yeah.
Full of envy, murder, debate.
Debate. You debating over things that don't have nothing. It's unfruitful and stuff. So that's why Christ said, don't even cast your pearls before swine. If they don't want to hear you and stuff, fine. Keep your jewels to yourself. Keep it moving. Shalom. You know what I'm saying? Have a nice day and stuff. You know, but they want to close their ears off because they're trying to give you a doctrine that's teaching against the actual commandment of the Most High instead of their doctrine that they learned from men. That's the whole issue. That's why our people are stubborn and stiff-necked to this day. They don't want to hear nothing. But go ahead again, Elder. Read that again,
please. Verse 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. Verse 31.
And before you go on that, when it says it says disobedient to parents and stuff, mind you, if you ain't gonna listen to what your parents say, you definitely ain't gonna listen to what the Heavenly Father said. And you definitely ain't gonna have love for your brother that put his life on the line for you to give you this time so you can get yourself right with him before you get the belt. Okay? That's the same stuff that you're dealing with till today. But once again, folks don't want to listen. Go ahead. Keep being all these things that you want to be and stuff. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 31. Without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of God, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in doing them and to do them.
See that? Like I said, very arrogant, prideful, and you can't be told nothing. I'll think about it. I'll read up on it and things. You know, and dang well you ain't gonna read up on nothing because you just like, oh, I ain't trying to hear it. Now, I admit that there's stuff that I won't listen to because I already know for a fact it's a doctrine. I don't deal with man-made doctrines, period, at all. I deal with exactly what the book reads 100%. I don't deal with no man-made doctrine. That's why I never come on here teaching some doctrines and stuff, okay? I only teach exactly what the word says. That's it. And keep it moving and show by my examples through my walks through life and things, okay? But let's get the rest of this because we got 3 more verses.
Okay.
Or chapters.
End of that chapter. Romans 1, chapter 1, verse 28 through 32.
Yep. Let's go to Proverbs 25 and 27.
Okay, 25 and 27. All right.
We going to the most knowledgeable man to the point where he fell from the, not even receiving his own words and stuff. He failed in his own stuff too. But at this point, we're just matching everything up, so.
Okay. Proverbs chapter 25, verse 27. It is not good to eat much honey. So for men to search their own glory, it is not glory. 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit is like a city that is broken down and without walls.
You see that? So this is why we keep saying you're looking for that spotlight. You're looking for that to be famous and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because you want that and stuff. Nah, man, don't be seeking that. That stuff will come as it is anyways if you just stick to the word and stuff. Just stick to what it says and stuff. Don't trick nobody. Don't try to give, some other deep understanding when really the scriptures ain't that deep. You know, it's a puzzle. The Most High will make it understandable for you and for others and stuff to bring it out and things. It doesn't have to be deep. Now, there is some things the Most High said he would do. He would teach you some dark sayings. Right. Dark sayings meaning there's other pieces to this puzzle that you would talk in a parable to individuals what they won't understand, you know, or some of them will grasp it and things like that, but you'll break down certain things in the scriptures where it's not, even though it's written plain, even though a lot of our people still won't understand. So he'll make it a way for you to understand and stuff the way you bring it out towards individuals who they could receive it better. But let's go to Deuteronomy 28. Proverbs 28 and 7. And this is what happens when you fight over the spotlight and stuff, just like what the Pharisees was trying to do with Christ.
Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 7.
27, verse 27.
Proverbs 27.
No, it's Proverbs 28, verse 27.
Yeah. Proverbs chapter 28, verse 27.
I'm sorry, verse 7. It is verse 7.
Excuse us.
That's my bad, sorry.
Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 7. It reads thus. Whoso keepeth the law is a wise son, but he that is a companion of riotous men shameth his father.
So which father is he talking about? He's talking about the Most High. You shaming him because you fighting for positions that you came up with yourself that wasn't handed to you in the first place. Okay? So this is why we need to stay with these laws 100%. It says, whoso keepeth the law is a wise son. So wise children. So wise, once again, why are you letting a lot of people, even in Christianity and churches, tell you the law is done away with? Why in Israelite camps and stuff are you only teaching partial of the laws? What are you afraid of? You're supposed to be an obedient son. This was handed to you. Okay? But let's get Proverbs, verse 19. Run to verse 19, and that's going to be it.
Verse 19, we'll go all the way through to 19.
Okay, go ahead.
That's what you want me to do? Go to 7.
No, just jump.
Just verse 19?
Yep.
Proverbs chapter 28 and verse 19. He that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain person shall have poverty enough.
But he that followeth after vain persons shall have poverty enough. See that?
Wow. Yes.
As a matter of fact, keep reading verse. Just read on through. As a matter of fact,
I'm gonna start back at 19 and keep going. He that tilleth his land shall have plenty of bread, but he that followeth after vain person shall have poverty enough. A fruitful man shall abound.
Faithful.
Excuse me. A faithful man shall abound with blessing, but he that maketh haste to be rich shall not be innocent. To have respect of persons is not good, for a piece of bread man will transgress. That man will transgress.
It's telling you exactly what you guys be doing. You transgressing the laws. That's sin. What is sin? Iniquity. You doing this on purpose. Keep reading, Elder, please.
Verse 22. He that hasteth to be rich hath an evil eye, and considereth not the poverty shall come upon him. He that rebuketh a man afterwards shall find more favor than he that flattereth with his tongue.
See that? So you rebuke lying stuff. You rebuke that stuff. You rebuke all the unrighteousness, anything that comes against the Most High's law, statute, commandments, the doctrine that Christ taught since through Moses all the way up until us, until now today. You rebuke those individuals, come up with them doctrines, say, no, the law's done away, but no, you don't have to keep that. No, that's lustful men and things like that. That law, Moses written those laws and things. Stop that. Rebuke that stuff. Don't try to flatter them, be like, hey, but it does say, we can, don't do that. But go ahead, Elder.
Verse 24. Whoso robbers his father or his mother and saith, it is no transgression, the same is the companion of a destroyer.
See that? What did the law say? The commandment, honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days should be prolonged and things upon this earth. Dude, and not only that, once again, that's the physical part about it. On a spiritual aspect, you're doing the same thing to the Heavenly Father. Okay? But keep reading.
Verse 25. He that is of a proud heart stirreth up strife, but he that putteth his trust in the Most High shall be made fat. Verse 26.
And all the stuff we reading right here, I'm gonna get you the law on that, or the blessings on that. Go ahead.
Verse 26. He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool.
Is a what?
He that trusteth in his own heart is a fool.
Is a fool. Go ahead.
But whoso walketh wisely, he shall be delivered. He that giveth unto the poor shall not lack, but he that hideth his eyes shall have many a curse. Verse 28. When the wicked rise, men hide themselves, but when they perish, the righteous increase.
Good for that day when that comes. Let's see where he says to make it fat, and then that's it on that. We're going to leave off on a good note. I mean, well, to individuals.
That was a good note.
Right. right. But you know, these so-called, well, that sounds so harsh and stuff. I can't believe that. The Bible actually says that. That's not the God that I serve. Dude. Anyways, Deuteronomy 28 and verse 1.
Deuteronomy 28 and 1?
Yep. We'll read all the way down to verse 14. And then that's it. Seriously, that's it. Okay, y'all. I know it would be pinging off in my mind. It's like one thing goes after another to another to another to another and stuff, you know. But I promise, this is just it. All right, you got my word.
Deuteronomy
28 and verse 1 down to 14.
Yes. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1 says, And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments which I command thee this day, that the Most High thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Verse 2, chapter 28. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, and if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Most High thy God, blessed shalt thou be in the city, and blessed shalt thou be in the field. Verse 4. Blessed shall be the fruit of thy body, and the fruit of thy ground, and the fruit of thy cattle, the increase of thy kind, and the flocks of thy sheep. Verse 5. Blessed shall be thy basket and thy store. Blessed shalt thou be when thou comest in, and blessed thou shalt be when thou goest out. The Most High shall cause thine enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come against thee one way, and shall flee before thee 7 ways. And the Most High shall command the blessing upon thee in thy storehouses, and all that thou settest thine hand unto. And he shall bless thee in the land which the Most High thy God giveth thee. Verse 9. The Most High shall establish thee in an holy people unto himself, as he hath sworn unto thee, if thou shalt keep the commandments of the Most High thy God, and walk in his ways. And all the people of the earth shall see that thou art called by the name of the Most High, and they shall be afraid of thee. Verse 8.
Verse 11.
Verse 11, pardon me. And the Most High shall make thee plenteous in goods, and the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and the fruit of thy ground, and the land in which the Most High shall swear unto thy fathers to give thee. The Most High shall open unto thee his good treasure, the heaven to give the rain unto thy land in its season, and to bless all the work of thine hand. And thou shalt lend unto many nations, and thou shalt not borrow. And the Most High shall make thee the head, and not the tail, and thou shalt be above only, and thou shalt not be beneath, if thou hearken unto the commandments of the Most High thy God, which I command thee this day to observe and to do them. Verse 14. Thou shalt not go aside from any of the words which I command thee this day, to the right or to the left, or to go after other gods to serve them.
So right there, plain and simple. Backed it all the way up. We went back to the laws, and it's not just the 10 commandments, it's all of them. Moses didn't spend 40 days and 40 nights on Mount Sinai only writing 10 commandments. Okay, so stop that. Oh, well, that's God's laws, and that's man's law. That's Moses' law. That doesn't count. Stop that. Stop it, stop it, stop it. Get some thorough understanding. Start reading the book from the beginning all the way to the end, okay? That's how you get thorough understanding. But once again, this is what you're going to get. We showed and proved this. Leave all that wickedness alone. Rebuke them men that be doing that, them women that be doing that and stuff, and you shall get blessed abundantly, more and more. So, like I said, that's all I had to say today. This is the end today with the lesson of lying preachers, prophets, religions, deacons and bishops, camps, whatever, and we'll come up with the next lesson about judgment and how to judge how to judge your brethren according to the laws, okay, and other righteous judgment at that, and with all the other nations as well. So, anywho, pray and hope that you all are doing well, and you get hope you guys got some jewels from this. And Most High we'll see you guys next week or so. So y'all have a blessed rest of the day and stuff, and stay safe out there. And I'm Brother Ezekiel.
Brother Chris.
And we saying Shalom, Yashala, and World.
Shalom.